This week, we are joined by Jackson Canfield, a graduate student defenseman on the Maryland men's lacrosse team. Jackson, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So the story of this lacrosse team, at least this year, has been a lot about the defense, and that definitely was the case this past weekend against Ohio State. What kind of allowed for a great bounce-back performance this past weekend?
I think just as a team, we always look at just resetting every week and taking every week to what it is and like making sure that we put our best foot forward. I think we just had a great game plan and everyone knew we needed to have a bounce back. We were playing a great team and we knew we needed to get a win. So sorry about that. We just wanted to put our best foot forward and show that we still are the same team that we played in the past. And we just got to get back to that every week.
I think it's kind of happened twice now. After the loss against Michigan, you guys had a really good bounce back against Penn State. Is that kind of something that was being talked about in the locker room that, obviously you're going to take each game the same amount of seriousness, but after a loss, is there any kind of talk about, we have to have a better performance?
Yeah, I think like our team motto is be the best. So we kind of want that with everything we do, especially after a loss. You got to look at yourself. What could you do better? So we put a big emphasis on making sure that we do have a better performance the next week because we want to take every game as serious as possible.
I wanted to go back a couple weekends to the Rutgers game. You guys lost 6-8, something that probably most people weren't expecting. I'm assuming in the locker room that wasn't expected. If you had to boil it down, what went wrong in that game?
I think there's just a couple things. I think we didn't play our best game. I think like we just didn't play like Maryland lacrosse for a full 60 minutes. I think we dug ourselves a little bit of hole towards the beginning of the game. We gave up some goals that we wouldn't want to give up normally. So it put some pressure on our offense to feel like they needed to do more at the beginning of the game. And I think we're just a little sloppy turnover wise. And that's kind of stuff we focus on. We would just want to be a clean team and be a smart team. And I don't think we played to that standard during that game.
I know that'll definitely be the case, having to play a clean and smart game going into the Johns Hopkins game this Friday. They're obviously not having their strongest season, but I assume that's something you guys aren't thinking about. It's still the rivalry game. I assume you guys are still pretty focused on that one.
Yeah, we know we're going to get their best game. It's the biggest game of like the season at this point. It's the rivalry. We haven't won the Crab in a couple years. It's at home on a Friday night. There's not going to be a better place to be Friday night. So we're just taking it as it's another game, but it's very serious and very important. Like it means a lot to the program. It means a lot to the alumni that we talk to, getting the Crab back. No matter what Hopkins' record is, it's going to be a big game. We're going to get their best shot, and we're going to give them our best shot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's as you said, it's always a big game, no matter what the records are. Kind of going forward past that game into the Big Ten tournament, you guys are not able to win the Big Ten regular season, but I assume that's giving you guys motivation to maybe get revenge against, Michigan as well as Rutgers.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a couple years where we haven't won the regular season and we haven't won the Big Ten tournament. So that's definitely a goal for the team is the ability to get back to that spot. We want to get to the championship and play well in the Big Ten tournament. That's always a goal for the team to win the regular season because that's not possible. But to win the tournament, it's something that we're looking forward to. But our first goal right now is obviously Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of talk about individuals. Logan McNaney obviously set the program record for saves last weekend. Is that something that was on his mind or on the team's mind going into last weekend?
No, I mean, I think as a team, like it's a lot about the team. That's what it is. I mean, Logan makes the defense look great. Like it's really easy to play in front of a guy like that. So him making the saves he does makes our job a lot easier. So we definitely give him a lot of credit for what he does. But Logan will tell you that it doesn't mean anything. It's about the team wins. So that's the biggest thing for like everyone.
Hey Jackson, wanted to ask you. You guys, there's an article published in the Diamondback this week that looked at you guys are scoring almost 2 goals more a game against top 10 opponents compared to other teams, and your losses this year have generally been to unranked opponents, whereas against you guys have beat, I think, half of the top 10 of inside lacrosse. Why do you think that is that, you've maybe struggled with lower ranked opponents, but then really elevated your play against some of the country's best?
Yeah, I think it just boils down to like us as a team, like wanting to play a smart and like smart game. And the games that we didn't play to our standard, unfortunately, has been to some of those teams that maybe aren't in the top 10. I think we just I think just they give us their best game every time we play, and it's easy for them to get up for those games. And we're trying to give our best game every time, and you know, it's just hard sometimes. You play a long season to give that best game for 12 games straight, and unfortunately, it happened versus those teams. But we're really just trying to play a smart brand of lacrosse, and we didn't play up to those standards during those games.
Do you think that that's just like, I mean, you said that other teams, get up for you guys, and naturally it's kind of easier, I would imagine, as a player to really lock in for a number 2 ranked game against Ohio State versus, you know, a game against Rutgers. When you're playing different calibers of teams as a player, can you kind of take us through the mindset of going through those opening games, or those big games per se, and what the preparation is mentally beforehand?
Yeah, I think we try and keep it the same. Like it's a Big Ten game at the end of the day. Like these are big games for us. Like we want to win the Big Ten regular season championship and then the tournament as well. So we try and not have any let up between if it's a number 2 ranked team or it's someone that's not ranked. It's a Big Ten game. Like it means a lot. Um, there's a lot at stake anytime you play a Big Ten team. There's like the seeding, the bye week. Just if you want to play an extra home game, like that's what you're playing for with those games. So we try and not handle it any differently. Obviously, you feel like a little more pressure after, especially after a loss or even playing a big like top ranked team. But the way we handle like the week is the same. Like our process, what we put into it is the same, and we hope that comes out on Saturdays. And unfortunately, in the 2 games, we haven't had the performances that lived up to our standards. But we try and prepare like every single week is the biggest game of the year because it is. It means a lot every time we play a team.
This is your 6th year in college lacrosse, so you've played tons of seasons, or tons of games, and tons of seasons. Do you feel that after losses or after tough moments in the season, younger guys will start asking you questions, and just in general, younger guys have been looking up to you?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I've been around and I've seen a lot of things. I've been on teams that have won tournament games and then conference championships, and then being on a team that made it to the national championship last year. Like I've gained a lot of experience throughout my 6 years. I think I try and pass along some of those moments to the younger guys. Because a lot of the young guys want to be too hard on themselves during the week or during a game, and you realize that like it's all about the next play. That's the biggest thing that it boils down to is the next play. You can't change what happened. Like you just got to go hard and make the next play. So that's the biggest piece of advice I try and give the young guys. Like after a loss, like it's never as bad and it's never as good as what you think on both sides. So that's like the biggest piece of advice.
I know that you said that obviously Logan, kind of the team, and that's for sure the case, but what's the best, like, after the game? Did you guys do anything with McNanny broke the record? Was there any sort of kind of celebration? I mean, obviously a huge win in the game, but for a player of his caliber to get to kind of etch his name in the record books, what was the best story you had post game, or even just like afterwards, kind of joking with him or talking with him about it?
Yeah, like Logan got the game ball, which for getting the most saves. So that's like the classic what you get after breaking a big record like that. But I mean, I think everyone on the team just got fired up. Like one, it was a big win, and two, like Logan like breaking the record. Everyone kind of went crazy in the locker room. So there wasn't much about it. Like we joke with Logs, like it's easy for him. Like it's easy for us to play for him. Like he makes some ridiculous saves and makes our job easy. So we kind of give him a hard time about that. But I mean, Logs is just Logs. Like he's a laid back guy. So we try and not give him too much.
When you're transferring, obviously you transferred from Vermont 2 years ago. Do you ever think about like who the guy you're going to be playing in front of is? Do you ever like did the goalie that was going to be playing at Maryland ever come into your consideration when you were thinking about transferring?
I mean, it did. Like playing for Logan, like would be great. So it definitely does make a difference. I think just transferring to Maryland, it kind of just the historic like precedent of being a great defense like goes into my mind. I'm going to a place that is known for defensemen. It produces great defensemen throughout its whole storied career here. So I think that's the biggest thing, and just playing for a group that has that same mentality. And I think the be the best mentality is kind of what separates and makes Maryland special in that regard, especially in the recruiting process. It's just every single day working to like be the best and reaching for those high goals. And this is a team, there's only a couple teams every single year that compete to make it to the Final Four in the national championship. So just being at a program like this was just something special, and just having the opportunity to join a program like this was amazing.
I wanted to ask you this because we talked to Dante Trader, former teammate of yours, who played football and lacrosse, and we asked him, why do you think that the men's lacrosse and even the women's lacrosse team has been able to get over the hump time and time again? You guys constantly are in the Final Four, as you said, the national championship, but other sports, the bigger ones, football, men's basketball of late, haven't necessarily been able to. What do you think about like inherent advantages that the lacrosse program might have compared to other sports? Is there anything that stands out to you that kind of gives you guys an edge that consistently is putting you in the championship and Final Fours?
Yeah, I think that's tough. I think a lot of it is just Maryland lacrosse, like it's the DMV, like what it is for lacrosse, just high school and all that. It kind of sets you apart. You look at like other sports, and you look at like the SEC, or you look at the ACC for basketball, and schools like that. Like football down south, like I'm from Florida. Like growing up, it was college football. That's all it is. Like that's what you look. That's what you watch. Like no one's watching the Jags near me. So like you're a Florida State, you're a Florida fan. Like that's what it is. In Maryland, like lacrosse is almost that sport. You're like you're there to play. You're playing lacrosse. So I think that probably helps Maryland lacrosse in that regard. But also I think it's just the culture that we've said of like be the best. Like that's everything we do. Um, I know all those other sports like work really hard in what they do. So I'm not taking anything away from them. I just think the culture that we've established, and that the standard is to make it to those games. So I think that's kind of what helps separate it, and just Maryland being a lacrosse state helps.
Definitely. Well, thanks, Jackson. We appreciate your time. Good luck this rest of the year, and we'll be looking forward to seeing how you guys play out.
No, thank you for having me.